Hi, everybody. It's Maria from What's the Story with Maria. How's it going? We're very happy you're here as we always are. Tonight is Tuesday, August 19th, 2025. We have a very special guest. He is involved in everything, he's master of many things. He's a sweetheart. He's our friend. David Sabella is going to be here. Leo, hit that promo.
I'm a big fish in a small pond. Got my days free and my nights long. I create my own reality. Who I am is fine with me. As famous as I wanna be. Who I am is fine with me. It's who I am. It's who I am.
Welcome back. We're happy you're here. We are heading towards thank God, the end of this crazy summer of heat waves, just a series of heat waves. It's been, in my lifetime, the worst summer I can imagine. I mean, just awful. But it's getting better. And today was really cool and stuff like that. And it's getting easier to breathe. So that's good news. And I love the fall anyway. So I'm always so excited when the fall comes. I'm a Massachusetts girl, so that's how it goes. I love the fall. Um, we want so many great things are happening. So many scary things are happening in the world, but great things are happening in the arts. And I'm starting to really get that that's what matters. What matters is how we treat each other, how we take care of each other, what we teach our children, what we put out into the world, and how we love. Because the outside is going to be the outside and they're going to do what they're going to do. And as long as we stand up for ourselves, make sure we always get out and vote and stick together. And I'm really starting to feel that that's happening. Then we're on a crazy ride right now. But as far as artists go, artists are saving the world, if you ask me. Let's see who's popped in. My goodness, so many of our wonderful friends. And I just want to start the show by saying every week, the people that pop in and watch the show make my day. Whether it's live or when they watch it and repeat and then they comment, you really, really, really make my day. Um, if you like our show, and I hope you do, there's many ways to watch it. You can watch it on Facebook Live, on my page, on Leo's page, on the What's the Story with Maria page, and sometimes our friends share it on their pages. You can also watch it on our What's the Story with Maria YouTube page. I know Danielle Alexandria Alchemy does that because she's not on Facebook. So you don't have to be on Facebook to watch the show. And then after that, you can go and listen to it, either watch it in archived, or you can listen to it in podcast on a million different. Um, if you go to our website, what's the story with Maria.com, which Leo completely designed and runs, then you'll be able to find all our shows in all of those platforms. And you can watch it too. So please go and watch. This is episode 412, I believe. Right, Leo? 412. Holy moly. And so we've been doing this for 8 years. We're going into our ninth season. And I love it. It's my favorite night of the week because we get to talk to the most wonderful people. And creative people are just different. They're just cool and kind and we inspire each other. So that's why we're here every week. So speaking of inspiring, I want to again, Danielle Alexandria Alchemy. I mentioned her briefly, but she's one of our great friends. Happy Tuesday, Maria Leo, and What's the Story with Maria family crew. Danielle is a great friend. He has become a great friend, but I met her because I got one of her sessions as a psychic. She's a psychic. She's a spiritual medium. She is a past life regressionist, spirit animal readings. She's a healer. She does such beautiful work. And I was so moved by her session. This is a couple years back that I bought a whole bunch for Christmas over the years and birthday gifts to give to people. I bought a bunch of different sessions because if you really love somebody, you want to give them peace of mind, right? I do. So I found that these were beautiful gifts. So Christmas is coming. So it's something to think about. And also for yourself. I send a lot of people to Danielle that are just like stressed out or whatever's going on. I'm like, you know what? Go and get yourself a session. Do yourself a favor. And then from there, they just feel better. And then things start to change and open up. So, Lori Towers, speaking of change and open up, this woman is a mover and a shaker. She's my friend. I love her. Lori Towers, another beautiful Tuesday night. Yes, Lori. Lori's a publicist. She's a bass player. She is a radio personality. She and her husband, John, who I love very much. I love them both. They are, Leo, what, could you have time to pop in and talk about what John and Lori do? John is a drummer. He is a reviewer. He's a writer. And what do they do on Wednesday nights, Leo? Because I know.
I'm sorry, I was modeling.
Oh, right. Thank you. See, that's why I love you, because you forget things that I mean, you don't forget things that I do forget. So
I
go ahead.
usually model on Wednesday nights at about 7 p.m. on this coast.
I
Not
should wear
that
this.
coast.
I
That
should
coast is
just
10
wear this
p.m.
all the time. It's easier.
When
I
I
love
listen to my John and Lori on WFMU.org, I love that arrow.
Yeah, I love it too.
I know
It's
that
so,
this
so
is an axe,
peaceful.
but I'm calling it a tomahawk.
Yeah, but I love this arrow because it's so peaceful. So Lori is also a jewelry designer, and she makes these beautiful pieces. So how do we find Lori's jewelry?
We look at LoriTowers.net, and it's scrolling at the bottom of your screen right now.
Okay,
Axe the Oligarchy.
love it.
And if you want to listen to some great music, go to WFMU.org tomorrow night, Beneath the Underground. And you can listen to our hunky historian and Lori Towers, his wonderful wife.
So John Pietro,
Patty
Lori
herself.
Towers. It's a great, great radio show because what they do is they showcase, as Leo said, all these great artists. A lot of them are local artists. A lot of them have a lot of history with New York, even if they're not here anymore. They're touring or it's a lot of it is attached to New York, and it's beautiful stuff. I love it. And you don't have to listen to it live because I work on Wednesday nights, but often I listen to it the next day. Or when I come home from work, then I start cooking and I listen to it. I love it. So we highly recommend John and Lori. Okay, let me see who else we have. I thought I saw Rena, Rebelware. Well, Rena will pop in, I'm sure. Okay, so Leo, you're working on something for September, right? You're teaching
Yep.
a group class. Want to talk about that?
I've got my senior cabaret for 50 and up
I love it.
going on. So we can tell our stories. And I do a 12-week workshop where we listen to, talk about music and how it infiltrates our lives and the many different benefits of it. And I'm going to focus more on that again, more music is magic
Yes.
theme. And then we also talk about do some free writing after we listen to some music, and they start to tell and develop their stories. And then we spend some time putting it all together. And then on November 21st, we will perform in front of the community that comes in. And
That's Thanksgiving week. What a nice week to reflect.
The weekend right before, because then we have Thanksgiving week. And that next Saturday after that is our tree lighting ceremony. And that's when my kids will come and sing. I think we're doing Christmas time is here. So I've got all my little stages planned out.
That. That always makes me cry. Always makes me cry when I hear that. I love Peanuts. I love it.
They're such good.
And Charles Schultz.
They were like
such an incredible man. Do you
Peanuts
know
and Calvin and Hobbes together? They were like these little kids with innate wisdom that the authors would put into them that make adults look at ourselves and say, "Oh, maybe."
Yep. And do you know Charles Schultz was such a great man and an activist? When he presented the whole Peanuts gang, right? Some of the books and the networks were a little iffy about the diverse characters. And you know what he said? If you don't take all of it, you don't get me. These are the characters in this book. They're all shapes and sizes. They're all colors. And if you don't want them, you don't get me either. And he wouldn't sign the contract unless they let him do what he needed to do. And I just recently read that, and I made me love him even more, So, and I remember when I was a kid in the early 60s, oh my God, I was a Peanuts nut. I still am.
Remember
Snoopy is still my favorite.
walking out without brushing my hair or doing something. But what are you, Pigpen? Go back in there and do it. I remember being told that
Absolutely.
when I was a kid.
Linus,
Yep.
yes.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Anyway,
Linus, the during the holiday special, the Christmas special, Linus's true like speech, the meaning of Christmas, and he just goes out. I love that part.
it's still my favorite Christmas thing. Always. Okay, so now we have a pick of the week. Well, sometimes we have more than one, but this week, what's happening that you can put in your books is Joe Iconis and Family. And this is a group of Joe Iconis and a group of wonderful singers. And they are at 54 Below August 18th and then August 20th to 23rd. So I think the 18th might be a Tuesday, and then the 20th through 23rd is like a Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So go check that out. You have so many great singers, and one of the singers is our friend Liz Lark Brown, who works with me on Fridays at Brandy's. She's amazing, and there's just a bunch of great people there. I mean, I could pull it up and just read a couple if I could get there. But I've just found out about this today from my friend Stephen Markman, and I wanted to sometimes. Okay, so here are some of the people: Liz Lark Brown, Michaela DeJoseph, Seth Lizer, John Eljor, Badia Farha, Danielle Gimbel, Morgan Siobhan Green, and then that's on the 1820. There's some of them you have to go and look at just go to 54below.org and you can get all the names. There's so many names. Every night there's some different people. So go
Oh,
and check it
fun.
out. Yeah, a lot of wonderful young people, as well as some seasons veterans that are going to be there. I know Lorinda uh, Lizit, I can't ever say her last name, Lizitza, Lizitza. So, and she's fantastic. So there's so many, I'm just scrolling, there's so many great people, and that room is really, really amazing. So Joe Iconis and Family, that's your pick of the week. Okay, now, speaking of picks of the week, of the month, so much stuff is happening always with this wonderful person. I was,
Mm-hmm.
as I often do, scrolling through Facebook, and I saw this such an animated being come on, and I was like, oh my God, that's David Sabella. He was back in Chicago for 6 performances, and I'm not going to tell the story. I'm going to have him tell the story, but David Sabella is as much of a veteran in the cabaret community as you can get. He has seen and done it. He has written about it. He teaches about it. He spreads the good word, and he is a messenger, a cabaret and arts messenger, and does good in the world. So I know that he is very hard to pin down because he's very busy. He's all over the place, and but he's in New York right now. Means he's on our time. Well, you're in California, but so why not bring him on? Um, Julie Cesari has joined us. Hey guys, it's
Hi,
Steve,
Julie.
and they're in California as well. Okay, so what do we think? Are we ready to bring in the amazing David Sabella?
So ready. So ready.
I'm ready.
Yay! You are ready. You just got out of hair and makeup. I love it.
How are you?
I'm great, honey, and I'm so happy you were
Great.
able to do it. Now, I know that so we were texting, you were backstage doing the show last week, and we were texting, and you said,
Yes.
if I'm done with the show, I can do it, but maybe even if I'm not done, I'll be able to. The show goes down at 9:15 or something. I'll be able to pop
Right.
on to the dressing room.
Right.
So,
Well,
David,
I'm
tell
done with the
everybody.
show.
Yeah,
I'm not
go
in my
ahead.
dressing room. I'm back home.
Okay, so tell everybody what you just went through, what you just did.
I had a very unexpected surprise return to Broadway for 2 weeks, and it turned out to be, by everyone else's account, somewhat historic because I'm the original principal in this role, which opened 29 years ago. And
My
there has never
God.
been an original principal come back to the same role in the same continuously running Broadway show 29 years later.
Wow. So
Yeah.
you originated that role of Mary Sunshine in what is
Yep.
that, 1996, I think?
96. Yes, the 96 revival. Yes.
And how long did you do it for when you weren't at the first time?
I did it on and off for 10 years. I did it for 2 years
Wow.
on Broadway. I went to Vegas to do it for 2 years uh, for the Millennium. Then I came back and did it for 2 more years on Broadway from 2002 to 2004. And then from
Wow.
2004 to 2006, I would swing in to various, what they call vacation swings. Whenever the guy who's doing the role has to go on vacation, I would go there, I would go there, I would go to Broadway,
Oh,
different things. And then my last performance in the show was the 10th anniversary, November 14th of 2006. And
wow.
so here we are, 2025. I had not been back since. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so how did you get the call? Was it just someone didn't feel well or dropped
Well,
out or
so here's what happened. In June 18th, I did the Dancers Over 40 Celebrate Chicago the musical, the whole musical, the 50th anniversary of the
Oh,
musical.
okay.
And so there were members there of from the 75 cast and from the 95, 96 cast. Okay. And they asked me to do it. My friend Mamie Duncan Gibbs and Stephanie Pope, part of the Dances Over 40 association or group. I said, sure. So I was in Mexico. I'm like, wow, I'm going to fly to New York to do one song in this. Okay. All right. But I said, you know what? I love the show. I'm going to do it. I'm going to fly to New York and do this one song. And it wasn't even the song that I sang in the show because nobody could sing the song that they sang in the show.
Oh,
That
okay.
was the convention, right? And so everybody tried. The running gag was everybody tried to start their song, and the music director would stop and go, "No, no, 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 we can't sing that. We don't have the rights for that tonight." Okay. And so I
Wow.
later found out we're going to be in the audience, and they are the producers. And
Yeah, of
so
course.
I was singing "I Move On" from the movie, and I said, "But you know what? I want to put the first three trills of Mary Sunshine before, as if I'm going to sing that song." And so I started that from the back where the kitchen is at 54 below and walked up the stage singing the three trills. And then I stopped myself. I went, I know, I can't sing it. And
I love that.
I looked right at Barry Weissler and I said, I mean, I can sing it. They just won't let me. Right.
I love
And
that.
got a big applause. And then I sang I Move On. And here's the important thing. About 10 days later, I remembered I should write Barry a thank you note for coming. So I wrote him a thank you note, an email. Thank you so much for coming. You and Fran look ageless. They don't
They
look a
are
day
ageless. I
over,
I
you know.
know.
And I said, I just hope you noticed that I did sing that Mary Sunshine trills, in the right key. I said, if you ever need anything, let me know. That was the first time in 20 years I'd ever expressed a desire to go back as Mary Sunshine. I've never
Mm.
really thought about it. And the next day, the office called me and said, "Oh, yeah, yeah, we'd love to. Would you come and help?" I'm like, "Sure." And so they had this need first I thought it was going to be a week, then it turned into 2 weeks because the actor who has the role, Arlo, was on a leave of absence that he had to extend.
Right.
And so they
Okay.
found himself without coverage. I went, sure, I'll do it. You know,
Wow.
and it was blissful. It was amazing, I have to tell you.
Well, I love all
Yeah.
those videos that you made where they were time lapses, where you were doing
Yes.
your makeup. That was
Yes.
so cool.
Yes. I did
So
that. Yeah. Yeah. I did a lot of posting this week because I thought, why not? This is
yeah,
such a
no, but
journey. Yeah.
that's and people love that.
Yeah.
Like I eat it up when people do stuff from backstage or on
Yeah.
tour, wherever they are, where it's happening. I'm like, we're right there with them. It's so cool.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know, you really get to experience that stuff. I love it. And the
yeah.
Weislers, I never, I used to work at Bar Centrale above Joe Allen in the mid
Yes.
2000s. Yeah, like 2007, 6, 7. And I waited on Barry many, many times. And he's a really, really nice man. A really
They
nice man.
they have always.
Oh,
Oh, what's this?
oh,
Oh,
Leo,
okay.
I think he was going to pull up the
Oh, the
makeup
video. Right,
thing.
right. You could do
Yeah,
that. Right. They've always been extremely gracious with me. You know,
yeah,
my husband and I got married when the first week it was legal. It was a big deal back then. We
yeah,
got a
of
wedding
course.
present from Fran and Barry. Yeah.
Oh, how
Oh, there it
cool
is.
is that?
We can
There
see
it
that.
is.
We said, yeah,
So it's like a time lapse. David is backstage at Chicago doing his own makeup there and
yeah,
becoming Mary Sunshine.
yeah. The total time lapse is about 45 minutes.
Yeah, wow, that was
Yeah,
really cool. And so tell everybody if they've never seen Chicago. I mean, I think a lot of people have, especially because of the movie too. But Mary Sunshine
yeah.
is kind of a surprise where she's a reporter, right?
Yes, yes. She's sort of the Hedda Hopper of her
Yeah,
day, or you know, the
yeah,
Walter Winchell, whatever, the gossip columnist and the page six. That's what she's page six of the day,
yeah.
right? And so she serves
Look at
as
that.
the there we are.
Look at the
She serves
fantastic.
as the if the glove don't fit, you must acquit moment. So we must
Ah,
really believe that she is a woman throughout the play. And then at the very end of the trial, uh, Billy Flynn says, I know that she looks guilty, Roxy, but things are not always what they appear. And then I sing a high note, rip off my wig and tunic, and I'm a man with
wow.
tattoos, which I didn't have the first time. So I have two sleeves of tattoos, which
Oh,
really
wow.
helped the reveal. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's really cool. If you don't get a chance to see the Broadway, I mean, you should. If you're on Broadway, you should see Chicago.
The movie
It's
doesn't
timeless.
use a man. The movie was Christine Baranski. So you can only
Yes, I
see this in
remember
the
that.
theater. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah.
I've seen it a bunch of times. I've seen Chicago
Yeah.
maybe over the years, maybe 4 different times, and with
Wow.
different casts, and because I've had friends in the show, and I loved it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's really cool. So anyway, thanks for sharing that with us. Um, Adrian Christian, who is checking in from uh, California, says, I know who David Sabella is. He taught my partner years ago. Nice to see all of you tonight.
Hi, who was the
Okay.
partner?
Who's
Who
the
was that?
partner? So David can remember. And I'm assuming it was voice, right? So
Yes.
yeah,
Had to be both.
Adrian Christian is a great singer. He's a friend of ours, and he's
Yeah.
from originally from New York, but now he lives in California. So David, how many years have you been teaching?
You know, I started right out of college, you know, because friends would ask, you know, way back then, it's like if you had a voice degree, you know, the starving singers would be like, can you teach me? Okay, I'll teach you, you know. But I got really serious about it. Uh, let's say 2000, I'll say 2000. I'll say about 25 years ago. Yeah. Um, Started really studying, you know, the pedagogy of it and the
Mm.
teaching how to teach, you know, teaching the whole science behind it, anatomy, physiology, acoustics. Acoustics is the keys to the kingdom. When you really understand the acoustics of the voice, everything
Oh, I
gets
love
easier.
that.
Yeah, everything
Yeah,
gets easier. And I've
I
taught in
love that.
many different universities. Um, I see him pulling up the page there. Yeah, many different universities. I worked with Anne Ranking's Broadway Theater project
Oh,
for a few
cool.
years. Yeah, yeah. It's been a passion of mine. You know, I'm a teacher at heart.
Yeah, you know what the thing
Everything.
about
Yeah,
teaching is you have to it has to be a passion. If it's not
yeah,
a passion, then you're
yeah,
going to be terrible at it.
yeah.
And you're going to
I
burn
had a
out and you're
teacher
not.
who was very passionate about it and very knowledgeable in it, and she was sort of my guiding light for how to do it. Yeah.
I love that. Now,
Yeah.
Adrian says, let me see, David Thomas Crow was his
Oh,
partner. He passed
yes.
away in 2008, but he spoke so well of you. Nice to see you.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear
So,
that, Adrian, but thank you.
What a well, that's a nice
5.
story and a nice memory. Thank
Yeah.
you, Adrian. Adrian is a
Yeah.
lovely human being. And Danielle Alexandria Alchemy says, yes, David is an amazing teacher and vocal coach. Hi, David.
Well,
So
thank you. Hi,
Danielle's in the,
Danielle.
she's all over
Hey.
she's behind the scenes a lot. And
Yeah.
she's an amazing
Yeah.
psychic,
I
but she works
still,
with a lot of singers. So,
yeah, I'm here
and
now for
she's
the
a
whole
singer.
month of September, and I'm teaching live. I'm probably going to use 353 Studios and teach, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and I'm going to do some workshop classes for groups. But I also teach online all the time. When I'm traveling or working away, I teach online. Everybody that I have here, I still have. I just teach online, and I
And how long
use.
are those sessions?
It can be an
Like,
hour or 45 minutes. That's what
okay,
people normally
cool.
do. Yeah. But I use a very, very synchronous technology. Like we learned this during the pandemic, you know, we really
Yeah.
learned how to do it. And the technology that I use, people can't even believe it. They're like, no, I don't think I want to try. I'm like, just try once,
Yeah.
and they do. And they're like, oh my God, that really
Yeah, because
works.
during COVID, as you remember, we were teaching
Yeah.
online. It was a delay. There was
Yeah.
always a delay with
Yeah.
and so this is you. So you've perfected the art of getting rid of that delay. Then,
Yes, I'll tell you what.
oh, that's
I'm not gonna tell you the name of the program yet because
no.
it's my proprietary little secret. But I use a program that transmits my keyboard information as MIDI data, not as audio data.
Oh,
So audio
cool.
travels at the speed of sound. MIDI
Wow.
data, computer language, travels at the speed of light.
Whoa.
So I play, and it instantaneously comes out of their computer speakers with no delay.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
So then they just sing back to me live as if I'm right there in their room.
I was gonna say, that's just like
Yeah.
having your
Yeah.
accompaniment right there. That's
Right there.
phenomenal.
Yes. And if they have a keyboard,
That's like a light bulb. Bam. What?
Isn't that
yes.
incredible?
Right?
Amazing. Like, what?
Yeah.
That's
It's
really
fantastic.
cool.
It is. If they have a keyboard, we hook the keyboard up to the computer, and what I play comes out of their keyboard as if I were playing their keyboard.
No.
Yes. I'll tell you what it
Wow.
is because you're all going to want to study with me. It's called Internet MIDI from timewarptech.com. Internet
Wow.
MIDI, MIDI, from timewarptech.com. It was built to have piano lessons online. And during the pandemic, when I found this technology, I went right to the owner of the company and I said, let's modify this for voice teaching. This is a great thing for voice teaching too. He'd never marketed it for that. Yeah,
Wow. This is a
yeah,
whole other thing that I
yeah,
didn't know
yeah.
about. So now
So,
people, if they want to take lessons from you, let's
yeah.
scroll this. How do they get in touch with you, David?
Email me. You can just email me. That website you're showing there is about to transfer into a whole other website. So the new email address would be sabellavox@gmail.com.
Okay,
So
so Sabella is
mhm.
Sabella. Vox is
And then
at
Vox.
Vox
That,
at
yeah, at Gmail.
gmail.com.
Yeah,
Everybody write that down because you don't,
yeah,
if you can't do it now, save it. This is also I always say this to people, the
yep,
greatest gifts I've ever received are like either whether they're lessons or theater tickets or something that doesn't necessarily happen on that day that you get the gift. It's
right.
something to look forward to. And I just love stuff like that.
Yeah.
So consider these as gifts as well. And what age ranges do you teach, David?
Well, I mean, my lessons are pretty intense and professionally based. I take beginners of all levels, but
Hmm.
uh, past puberty, let's say, past puberty.
Okay, good to see. That's
You know,
important to know.
yeah, vocal lessons prepubescent, not worth it, in my opinion. There are people who
Yeah,
do it, great, have fun, love music, but at puberty, the voice is going to change so substantially that you almost got to start all over again.
yeah.
You
You know
know,
what I love? I because I teach all ages, but you know what I think the younger kids are. What's important for the younger kids is to expose them to
that's right,
theater, to
that's right,
community, to
that's right.
working together. to
Right.
understanding music to understanding staying within a meter. And but
Exactly.
you are right, especially the boys that I've taught over the years that are serious. Their
Yes.
voices always changed.
Always change. And, in adult study of musical theater lyrics, they're all about love, they're about
Hmm.
falling in love, and which whatever eventually means they're about sex, like
Yeah,
it's about the desire to connect. And, you know, it's hard to talk to someone about that if they haven't experienced that,
experienced it, right?
you
Or
know?
is it
So,
appropriate, right? So
yeah,
yeah, there's
yeah,
always that. Um, Now, David, you have your own show coming up, right? You
I
have your
do.
own show coming up. Talk about that
Yes.
and what people can expect. Or, um, I love, I mean, I love cabaret shows anyway.
Yeah.
But someone who is as seasoned as you, how do you keep finding the new? How do you keep finding the discovery of
Well,
something?
this show is a perfect example of that. This show is called Razzle Dazzle, and it has gone under a few different titles already. It started out as uh, uh, what was it? Was it for the 20th anniversary? First, yeah, 20 Chicago 20 after 70 Girls 70, right? Started out as that. Then it was the Razzle Dazzle of Chicago, whatever. Now it's just Razzle Dazzle because it's changed throughout the years. It is using the music of Chicago and almost sequentially in order of the play,
Oh,
but
wow.
different arrangements and telling different stories,
I love
telling
that.
my life stories, telling the story of my audition for Chicago, the first day of rehearsals for City Center. Here I am, a newbie
Wow.
in the midst of greats, music theater greats, Joel Gray, B.B. Newworth, Anne Reinking,
Wow.
you know, all these people who had worked with Bob Fosse, and I was like Shanubi, right? And how we progressed on the presidential visit, the Tony Awards, all these things that were massive milestones. We were the Hamilton of the day,
Yes,
we were the big
absolutely.
shot musical of the day, right? And then there's a moment in the show using the Roxy monologue where I turn it very personally. And then I talk about my life outside of the show and our adopting and fostering five children. We fostered five, adopted two. My husband and I were married for 15 years, together for 19. He passed away in 2019. So each of these
Oh,
things
sorry, honey.
that
Yep.
happened added to the show. So there's
Wow.
new material in the show that wasn't in the show because my life has kept progressing.
Wow.
Yeah. So we had a whole different ending, to the show 10 years ago. We had a whole different, I used to have a guest star. We'd sing a duet. Now it's like, oh no, now I got to hone it in and talk about what's happened since the last time I did the show. So it grows and it changes and it has to. Live cabaret
Yes,
has to.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
And I think it's very important to pull in from your own life. It's not, I mean, it's great to be someone that's so good at this that no matter what you do on stage, people eat it up. But the shows that I love the most watching and doing are those
Yeah.
that are very authentic and happy. And they're even happening as you're doing it. You're
Yeah.
feeling different feelings. You're experience,
Yeah.
and because of that, the audience feels it.
Yeah.
And
And
it's
you
like,
have to
what?
allow yourself to have that different feeling wherever it may
Absolutely.
take you. You're going to sing a love song, but you just had a big fight with your husband or wife. Well, you got to let that in
Yeah,
because that's going to
I
take
love
you to a
that.
different place on that day. And that's going to
Absolutely.
mean something to somebody that's different.
Absolutely. Now, so you also wrote a book
Yes. With Sue
called
Matsuki. Yes.
Yes, I know we love Sue. Sue was on the show about maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago,
Yes.
and she talked about it. I mean, I always bring it
Yeah.
up because I think it's so great, but she's had so many nice things to say about you. Um,
Yeah.
so tell us about the book because I we've had people on the show that have referred to your book.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I have friends
That's
in
amazing.
Boston that are cabaret artists, and they're huge fans of yours because of
Oh,
the
thank
book.
you. Thank you.
So,
Well,
I
the book
actually
came
used the
about.
video as a reference for the class I teach.
Oh,
really,
the,
Leo, I
the
didn't
video
know that.
presentation that we did.
Yep.
Really?
I
Oh,
use that
that's
as a visual aid for the senior cabaret class that I teach.
oh, I love that.
Wow.
Thank you so much. We did that.
Thank you.
We did that video because it was COVID, and we couldn't do a show to open the book, to debut the book. So we
Wow.
did this show online, you know,
Wow.
and it was wonderful with interviews and videos of people singing. And Ann Hampton Callaway wrote a
Oh my
song
God.
for us. Wrote a song. What is cabaret? I mean, what? Yeah.
I know she's
So
really phenomenal.
yeah, yeah. So the book is a part of a series called the So You Want to Sing series, sponsored by the National Association of Teachers of Singing.
I love
And it's
that.
all genres. So you want to sing opera, so you want to sing blues, so you want to sing gospel, so you want to sing rock, so, everything. And they had featured me in a book called So You Want to Sing CCM, Contemporary Commercial Music. So I didn't know what this book was because at the time I was going through my divorce, which was nuclear. It's a whole other story. So they asked me to pen a chapter to this book, and I kept putting it off and putting it off. Is we just want to know your story about how you teach what you teach. Okay, so in like 3 hours, I wrote off this chapter and sent it off, and then it came out. The book came out, and it actually was uh, a sort of feature on 12 international pedagogues who were cited as putting forth a methodology for teaching contemporary commercial music. And so um, that was amazing, to be included in that. And then right after that, they said, we want to write a book on cabaret. You're the perfect person to do it. Would you do it? And I said, there's no technique. All these other books were about vocal technique. I said, I'm not going to write a book on vocal technique for cabaret. There isn't that. I said, the best I could do for you is give you a book of interviews with the big stars and
Mm,
have them tell you what cabaret is and how
I
it
love
differs.
that.
you know. So they said yes to that. And the whole book is interview after interview. Steve Ross, Ann Hampton Callaway, Michael Feinstein, Lorna
Beautiful.
Luft wrote the forward, Jeff Harner, Natalie Douglas, all these great interviews as to what is cabaret, right? And then there are some chapters on a little bit of the best I could do with technique was like how to use your authentic voice because it's about that. It's about being like you speak and tell the story and use your authentic voice. The worst thing in the world is for someone to come on to a cabaret stage and come voice first, you know?
I love that.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Yeah, because
so,
it's so intimate. I mean,
yeah,
it's such a different art form. It
yeah,
seems so easy, but it's so not easy
yeah,
because
yeah,
you're so vulnerable,
yeah,
you know? I
yeah,
love that. So it's a
yeah.
series of
And
interviews.
yeah. And so it came out in 2020. And so because of that, we had to do the video show, the video debut. So,
I love that. That's great. So they can get that, I think, wherever books are sold, but Amazon, I know definitely carries it. So,
mhm.
so just type that in. So, so you want it's called "So You Want to Sing
So you want to
Cabaret,"
sing cabaret?
a
Yep.
guide to performers
Right.
by David Sabella and Sue Matsuki, who was on our show a
Yes.
few weeks ago and did also talk about the book.
Yeah.
Now, David, we're going to take a brief break, and I always
Okay.
cook for the show, and then I'm going to talk about what I cooked because if I ask my friends to come on and be creative, I must always stay creative myself. So I do cook, and then I want to go back to talking about what about your foundation in Mexico.
Oh,
So,
great.
okay, so what did I make tonight? What I've been doing lately, which my mother was great at. What do I have in the house, and what can I do with it? Because lately I just don't feel like schlepping around the neighborhood to going shopping. And I don't know if anybody else has noticed, but food is through the roof. Groceries are through the roof. I paid $12 yesterday for 7 peaches. I couldn't believe it.
Oh,
I was like, "Are you sure that's right?" So what I have been trying to do to, just watch my money is what do I have in the house? So I had some polenta. Trader Joe's makes these beautiful polenta medallion. Well, you have to cut them, and it's like kind of a tube of polenta. So I made polenta medallions, and last night I made meatballs for
Oh,
my orders because I also I'm a chef. I make sauce for people, and I made a couple small ones with a little bit of extra stuff that I had. So this is my dish. So this is a meat sauce, of course, because the meatballs were cooked in it. Put a little parsley, a little salt and pepper, and that's it. There you have your delicious medallions. And with the medallions, I just fry them really quickly in super hot oil. Just fry them, and then I flip them, and then I put them on a nice paper towels to dry off that.
So I
So
have
that's what
ordered
we're
Uber Eats to come pick them up.
okay. All right. And
Maria,
Todd,
is
go ahead.
polenta keto friendly?
No. It's
Okay,
absolutely the opposite of keto, which reminds me, I'm going back on the keto this week
I'm
because,
joining you.
well, I've let myself go off the deep end because I love to eat, but now I have a bunch of stuff coming up in October, and I have weddings coming up, and so I'll go back on the keto for a month or two, and then I'll lose my 10 pounds, and I'll be happy. Now, and then I'll
Wow.
eat again at okay. So this I love salads, David. I think
Wow,
it's an
that's great.
Italian kid thing. We always had parents that made great salads and vegetables were always big in my house. My dad had a garden, and my mother would say, "Can you go out and get me some lettuce? Go out," and that meant go to the garden and get basil or whatever. So this is Boston lettuce with some red onions, red beautiful peppers. I love red peppers. That's my favorite thing. And these are little pearls of mozzarella. These little baby, they're called pearls, and they come in a little ball. You buy them in a ball of, and then these are Sicilian olives, which you can also call them oil cured olives. Like depends on where you buy them. But I like to go to places like Whole Foods or places where they have them in an actual olive bar, and then you can pick what you like. And they're
Mm.
usually called either garlic cured or oil cured, but they're originally from Sicily. So, although the Middle East also there it has a lot of olives, I love olives. So that's that, and I'm going to use a. There's a company that I love. It's called the New England Olive Oil Company,
Mhm.
and they make. I order many oils from them. So I'm using a Milanese Gremolata olive oil for this, and then a traditional balsamic vinegar called Fini that I also get at Whole Foods, and that's from Italy. It's delicious. For my
Wow.
dessert, I didn't feel like running out to get to dessert, but I always have dessert in the house. So these are white chocolate Reese's cups. I love anything peanut butter. So that's my dessert for tonight. And that's what I made. So I always love to cook and prepare a meal.
Do you cook like that every night?
Not every night, but if I had my way, I would. My mother cooked. My mother worked in the factories. God bless her. She worked like a dog,
Wow.
and she was handicapped, but she worked really hard. She'd come home and she cooked every meal. And then I learned. I would stand next to my mother at the stove as a little kid, and I would watch
Yeah,
her, and
yeah.
then she would say, "Now you do it, and I'm going to do something else." Like whatever it was, whether it was making bacalao or
Right.
whatever, she'd say, "Okay, now you take over and do it, and I'm going to start on this." And then eventually, when I was like 11 or around there, fifth grade, my mother would say, "Now you're going to start dinner tonight, and then I'll come home and we'll finish it." So that's how I learned to cook, from
Wow,
sitting
that's
and
great.
watching my mother. She never wrote anything down.
Right.
Everything was in her head, no recipes. And so that's how I learned to cook. But I love it. I love to cook. And during COVID, I started a little sauce business because
Oh,
I was broke. I work in piano bars. And, even unemployment, you don't get those tips. That didn't come in on it,
right.
So I was like, what am I going to do? And I started cooking and delivering. Oh my God, look at Leah. It put it up there. So I'm still doing it on a smaller scale now because I'm back to work. But so I still love to cook. Yes. Now, David, you have a foundation that you've started. Do you want to tell us about that? Because
Yeah.
this is fascinating. This is a whole new animal.
Yeah, talking about things that you love, do love. There
Yeah,
is Bella Vox Performing Arts Foundation. Yeah. Separate from my teaching studio, which is Sabella Vox Studios, but Bella Vox Performing Arts Foundation. So, I went down to Mexico in January of 2024 to um, simply work for 10 weeks. And I fell in love with the people, and
mm,
I started, they're amazing. The people are amazing, and the young performers. Now, this is in Puerto Vallarta.
I
And
love
Puerto
Puerto
Vallarta,
Vallarta. I've been
it's
there. I
gorgeous,
love
right?
it.
It is
Beautiful.
to Mexico almost what New York is to the US, right? It's
Yep,
where young performers will go to like start to become a performer because
yep.
there are theaters there. There's entertainment there for the tourists. It's one of the hot spots, right? And so they go and they perform. But PV uh, has a lot of touristy shows, right? It's a lot of drag shows. Now, I'm a drag performer too, so nothing against that. And a lot of tribute shows where someone will do a tribute to Queen or Adele or the Beatles or, but very little authentic, what we would call cabaret, tell me your story, you know, make me feel something kind of thing, right?
Right, right.
And so I began teaching voice workshops down there. And then Mark Hartman and I brought down this
I love Mark
festival.
Hartman. He's
Yes,
fantastic.
yes, a Fiesta de Cabaret, which is a learning workshop. Now, we're running this again this November, and applications for this end on August 30th. So, if you want to apply for Fiesta de Cabaret, we take applicants from the US, from Canada, also from Mexico, but most of our paying clients of course are US and Canada. It's a 9-day workshop. You come down to Puerto Vallarta. It is workshops with Lena Kutrakis.
I
It
love
is,
Lena. Love
yeah, she's
Lena.
fantastic.
One of my
And then
good
it's
friends.
voice workshops with me. Then there are star singers who are coming down to do guest performances, and we
Wow.
give you a little time in the daytime to go have lunch on the beach. It's nice, but it's intense. And then there's a piano bar at the end of every night. And so it's like the O'Neill experience, right? Or the Cabaret Fest also it's like that, only it's in Puerto Vallarta. So
Wow.
experiencing classes, I realized there was such a market and a need for education and performing arts education, acting and singing, where you got to put yourself in someone else's head, where you got to understand that other person's point of view. That's transformative for young kids when they go through that. When they have
Yeah.
that acting class and they develop empathy, they develop
Yes,
creativity, critical thinking, the ability to understand someone else's point of view. And with all of
absolutely.
this technology, this is exactly what we are missing right now. This is
Hmm.
exactly what we are missing is this
I
human
agree.
connection, you know? So I wanted to make this foundation to A, bring down great performances. I brought down some fantastic Broadway people last year who inspired my audience and my young performers tremendously. I had Karen Mason, I had Sally
I love
Mays, I had,
her. Oh my
yes, I had
God.
Brent Barrett, I had Bianca Marroquin, who is Mexican born and the first Mexican
Wow.
woman to have a leading role on Broadway,
Oh my
right?
God.
And I had Jeff Harner, and I had Natalie Douglas, and I had Shana Sharp, and I had
I
Philip
love
Officer,
Shannon.
and I had Marie Rambaringolo, and a whole host. Sue Matsuki came down, a whole host of great cabaret performances that everyone, like everyone in the audience, who had also seen or had some part of the festival, they're like, this whole season is a masterclass.
Oh my
This whole
God.
season
It
is
sounds
just,
phenomenal.
yeah, it was
When
great.
does it start, David? Wh-
Well, last November is when we
Okay.
started the Fiesta de Cabaret, and I was working with a theater there where I was sort of working as the booking manager. So I
Yeah.
brought this talent down, and the truth of the matter is, I wanted to do it on a bigger scale, and hence the creation of the foundation.
Oh, I love that.
501c3 nonprofit U.S. foundation. And the biggest blessing of this is that I found a nonprofit executive by profession who is also a cabaret and performance lover from Chicago. Her name is Sally
What?
Recking. Yes,
Oh
yes.
my
She reached out
God.
to me on Facebook. I'd met her when I did my shows in Chicago, and she's a big cabaret supporter. And she went, I this is what I do for a living. I'm a nonprofit executive. I want to help you.
Yeah, because that's a
And
whole nother
it's a
world
whole
of
different world. Yeah.
knowing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. She is, I call her my chief executive officer, my chief development officer, my chief tell David what to say and what not to say officer. Yeah.
That is fantastic.
Yeah.
So you're
Yeah.
you're going back after your show on September 30th. Then
Yeah.
you're going to go back to Puerto Vallarta, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. This the our season this year probably won't start until January. I'm gonna tell everyone within reach, everyone who hears me, I'm gonna tell you right now, as a startup nonprofit, we need your support.
Yeah.
So whatever you can give, go to bellavoxarts.org, BELLAVOXARTS.org, and please give what you can. Because to
I
bring
love
these great
that.
artists down, to bring these great singers down, I need the money. What are we going to
BellaVox
pay them? Where are we going to house them?
Arts dot com.
Bella Vox Arts.
BellavoxArts.com. I love
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
That is really, really great. And
Yeah.
I, especially now, because I work for a nonprofit as well called Road Recovery. And we used to
Oh,
get some funding from the federal government, and that's gone.
yeah,
It
yeah,
is
uh,
completely gone.
yeah,
It's so sad. It is literally they've just cut it.
yeah,
That fell under the umbrella of so after school, Meals on Wheels,
yeah,
and Head Start. Can you imagine?
yeah, yeah,
So yeah, it's a tough time for nonprofit, but
yeah.
there are so many amazing people out there and foundations
There
that
it
want to
is.
help.
Yeah,
So there it is,
yeah. Bella Vox Arts.
BellaVoxArts.org. What a wonderful thing you're doing, honey. I'm
We get the
so
wrong
blown
information
away.
here. We get the wrong information here about Mexico.
Oh, I
This
love Mexico.
administration maligns Mexico. They do not send us their worst. They do not. They are the
Mm.
most loving, hardworking, artistic, beautiful people.
Yep, I
And
agree.
these
I
young
agree.
performers, they just don't have a path. They don't have a path. Bianca Marroquin herself said to me that when she was auditioning for Chicago in Mexico City,
Right.
okay, to come to New York, she said at the end of my final audition, she was 26 years old. So I got on my hands and knees. I said, please, you've got to get me out of here. There is no other place for me
Oh
to
my,
work in Mexico. It doesn't exist. It did not exist then. And it's
right.
barely there now. If you do a Google search for performing arts centers in Mexico, there are two or three,
Wow.
in Mexico City or Guadalajara. Puerto Vallarta is a world-class city. It
I agree.
deserves that kind
I
of
agree.
entertainment and that kind of education.
Yep, I was
Yeah.
there maybe 20 years ago, and then a few years after that.
Yeah.
And my impression was this: these people are so kind and so loving and so connected. And what I learned, because I like to talk to the locals, I'm not a resort person at
Right.
all, is I loved that they said in school they learn half of the day in Spanish and half of the day in English
Oh, wow.
because, yep, in
Yeah.
Puerto Vallarta they did then because they rely on tourism
Yeah.
and it's mostly Americans and Canadians. And
Yeah.
they need to know how to speak English if they're going to drive cabs, if
Yeah.
they're going to work in hotels, if they're going to work in hospitality. They need to speak in English. And I just thought, wow, we're so lazy. We would never go through
Oh,
that. Like what they have
yeah.
to do just to survive.
Yeah.
And I used to take the local buses up all the way up. Um, I loved it. I love the Mexican people and I love Puerto Vallarta. So
Yeah.
thank God for people like you because you're right. You are doing beautiful work. Well, David, we have come to the end of our show. I can't believe this. What a nice sit down we had.
Thank you.
Now, I usually ask my guests at the end of the show to leave us with something inspiring, but the entire interview has been I mean, like, so this is what I usually say. What would you, and I'm gonna pop this question to you because you
Okay.
have like answered every question I haven't even asked with your beautiful words. But if someone is discouraged, if someone is, maybe they've worked their whole life in the arts and they've hit a wall, or maybe what's happening in the world, they feel like I don't know if I even want to get out of bed, never mind create. What would you tell
Mhm.
them?
That the world can change like that. It just takes that. And you are not defined by your present moment or even your past moment. You're not defined by your family or your history or your religion, whatever. The world can change like that. You keep thinking about what you want to have happen, because before somebody thought about a chair, no, before there was a chair, somebody thought about a chair,
Mm.
right? Our thoughts
Oh, I
are the
love that.
first manifestation of whatever it is coming into reality. You
Yeah,
have to think it, and assuredly it's going to happen. We don't know how long it takes, but from the moment you think it, you have started the process of it coming into reality. So you just have to keep thinking it. You just have to keep thinking positively and that it's coming,
I
and
love that. That's beautiful.
be grateful for everything you have, because then God will give you more to be grateful about.
Absolutely. Oh, thank you, honey. Thank you. So beautiful. Thank you for everything. Thanks for taking the time. I know how busy you are. I've wanted to have you on the show for so long, and it's hard when you're, in Mexico because the time difference and
Yeah,
all that.
yeah.
But I remember I saw you one night a while ago at Brandy's, and we were trying to
Yes,
make it
yes.
happen.
Hmm.
So, and I love Mark Hartman and all the people that you love, I love too.
Yeah.
So I can't thank you enough. God bless every step you take. Thank you for spreading the beautiful sunshine that you do.
Thank
And
you. Sunshine. Merry
and any
sunshine.
yes, Mary Sunshine. And anytime you have anything that you want to promote, that even if you're out of town, just send it to me or post it on my wall, and I will put
Great.
it on the show wall. Okay. And
Great. Great.
we'll give you more plugs as your show gets close. So
Yes,
I
thank
do
you.
want to end with that. Tell us again how they can get tickets to your cabaret show.
54below.org is the
Okay.
website. It is September 30th. So you go to the calendar for September 30th at 7 p.m. Please bring 30 of your closest friends.
Okay. And I
It's
think
a
that
great
falls
show.
on it falls on a Tuesday.
A
So
Tuesday. Yeah. Yeah.
yes, it's a great night to go out and watch and listen to a beautiful performer.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, honey. I can't thank you enough. I'm glad that you're back in New York for a while,
Thank you.
and we love you, and I appreciate that. So, Leo, will you
Thank you
join
so
us for
much.
our final salute? And by the way, Leo is Mexican, by the way. We
You
have our
are.
own wonderful Mexican. He's back there doing something. So there he is.
Yay.
Yes,
Hi.
Leo is our
Nice.
Mexican representative.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody. Please come back and watch the show every Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern. If you don't watch it live, you can watch it in reruns and listen to it in podcast. And just remember that we love and appreciate you. Good night.
Good night. Thank you.